Hello, hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello, hello. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, the last Sunday in April.
It is.
Woohoo.
It's about to be May. Time is flying by.
It is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Time is gone. It's
Yes, it
already,
is.
yes. How are you doing this Sunday?
Doing good. No complaints. No
Well, that's
complaints.
good to hear. No complaints, everything's smooth.
Yes, yes, yes. Hi, Miss Rita. Hi, Miss Linda. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for joining us. Come on in while we get this party started. Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much for joining in. We want to first start off by saying happy birthday to it's Taurus season now. So
Mm-hmm.
happy birthday to anyone who is celebrating Taurus season. Uh, saying happy birthday. Any shout outs you want to do, Shakira?
No. Not that I can think of off the top of my head. No.
Nobody you could think of?
Not off the top of my head. No.
Okay, so whoever, let me see. Oh, you know who is celebrating this weekend? I know it was mentioned before. It's First Lady Jenkins, Sheila Jenkins.
Okay.
Happy birthday to her. And those who are celebrating the Taurus month, happy birthday, happy birthday. We also want to say congratulations to a young man out of South Jersey. He actually has joined the Eagles team. Jihad.
I did. I heard about that.
Yeah, welcome. I'm so proud of him. Out of Gloucester Township.
Yes, yes, I
Out of
did. I
Gloucester
did see that.
Township. He is now part of the Eagles team. Woo woo, Eagles. Um, I do want to say, he's young and he's got so many different opportunities. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to play this small little snippet to share this information with our viewers.
Take it away, Adam.
Got you. Jihad and his family arrived at the facility around 3 p.m. on Friday to some very warm welcomes. First order of business? Cheesesteaks. He did get drafted to Philly after all. Once everyone finished eating, we took them on a tour of the building that Jihad is about to be spending a lot of time in. We took him outside to check out the practice field, and everything started to feel very real.
It's crazy, man, because I'm an Eagle, so it's even crazy to say that.
You'll get used to it. And then we took him upstairs to meet with Coach Sirianni before heading back downstairs to speak with the Philly media. After his press conference, he got to meet with the fans and answer some of their questions.
Why so fast?
I don't know. It might be faster than that.
And then the fans got a chance to talk to and get a photo with Jihad. He even got to see his old high school coaches who made their way over the bridge to say congrats.
I can't believe we are here at the Eagles. Like, this is so amazing.
And finally, he had an interview with our media team and then wrapped up the day with a photo shoot. And that was Jihad Campbell's first day as an Eagle. Congratulations and welcome.
Welcome to Philly. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Welcome to Philly. That was great to see someone from South Jersey joining the Philly team. And I know your husband's team is the Giants, so you might have someone that's from New Jersey who was joining the Giants team. So you might want to shout someone out soon.
Yes, we'll see.
We'll see. Okay.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yes, we also want to extend a goodwill to Michael and Damika. Saying,
Yes.
get well soon. Michael is doing much better.
Mm-hmm.
And we're so thankful for that. Damika, we're keeping you in our prayers, sending much love to both of you.
Yes.
Sending much love to both of you. So as we start our show, we definitely going to be talking about some jobs that are available that are hiring right now. And they're paying some pretty good money, up to $150 per job, meaning it takes about maybe anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes to do these jobs. So
Mm-hmm.
the money can really come rolling in for you if this is something that you're interested in doing. It doesn't really require a lot of experience. So we're going
Yes.
to get into that later on.
Yes.
The other thing I wanted to find out, did you hear about the UPS, the USPS, United States Post Office shakeup, layoffs, electric cars, and the future of the mail?
No, I didn't hear about what they about to have robots deliver our mail.
It's about to be electric cars instead of being, because a lot of people have been getting hurt. A lot of the mailmen been getting injured. So
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to, I guess, the bottom line, I think they're trying to privatize everything.
Yeah,
Will that happen? We don't know yet.
yeah, we
That
don't
remains
know.
to be seen. You
Yeah,
know, but
that's a little wild. I mean, I feel like they. I mean, it's certain industries that they just feel the need that they want to turn into somebody losing a job. It went
yeah.
started with the self checkout. Just different things to take human interaction out of the equation. Even though you really don't. I mean, some people interact with their mailman. Some people know, and they're friendly with their mail person.
Oh
Doesn't have
yeah,
to be a man. Um, but yeah, that's wild.
as well. Let me
Mhm.
show this little clip about what's up and coming.
Changes are coming to your mailbox this month. Let's connect the dots. The U.S. Postal Service is rolling out a cost cutting plan. It's part of a 10-year effort to slash spending and modernize delivery. Starting this month, mail service could be slower for some, especially in rural areas. The Postal Service says most first class mail won't be affected, but some pieces will take longer to arrive. It's all part of a plan backed by the Trump administration and Elon Musk's government efficiency team. So far, that includes job cuts, delivery route changes, and a push to upgrade to electric trucks. Workers have been protesting, worried these changes could lead to privatization or reduced service. President Trump has floated merging USPS with the Commerce Department, while Musk wants it privatized. But critics warn that could hurt rural customers who rely on the mail most. More changes are expected in July.
Connecting the dots. Thank you for that information. So you hear what's up and coming. So there could be
Mhm.
some changes to our mail. And also they talked about laying off. So might have.
Yeah, if there's no yeah, if they're going to lay I mean if it's electronically people obviously it's not people. They're going to get layoffs. Like they're probably trying to find any way that they can turn something into a robotic experience and lay
Yep.
people off and cut the
Yeah.
fat so they can line their pockets. It's just my opinion.
Seems that way. Seems
My
that
opinion.
way. Sadly, it seems that way.
Yes, yes, yes.
Sadly. Thank you so much, Pam, for joining. Shout out to you, my love. I just was talking about Tamika. And Linda says, we have Russell Wilson. Yes, 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 you
Yes,
did.
we do. We
I
do.
think it's only for 1 year, though, is it not? I think, is it a 1 year contract?
That I'm not sure of. I only watch
Yeah.
the game. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think
I
it's a one
barely
year
know the
contract,
game.
if I'm not
But
mistaken.
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not absolutely sure.
Yes. Pam, send my love to Damika, please.
Yes.
One of the things I think with the United States Postal Service, with the rural area, and that's where, the houses are a little farther apart from each other, and
Hmm.
supermarkets are at a distance. But not just that. I mean, a lot of us depend on mail, right? Let's be honest. Now, the mail industry have declined because you have so much emails now,
Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
people email more so than they do mail. So I know that that was a cut in the income and the profit.
Hmm.
But no matter what, I think mail would still be something that would be necessary.
Yeah, that's needed. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, especially when you're doing certain shipping, you're shipping things out.
Hmm.
Now you got FedEx, you got UPS, you got other
Amazon.
different carriers too. But it seems like the United States Postal Service is dependable. And I'm not saying the other ones are not,
Yeah.
but I think the United
But they're the
States Postal
staple.
Service says that if it's not delivered at the time they say, you don't pay.
Yeah.
I know maybe Dottie if she comes on, or if Lisa, she worked at the post. She works at the post office right now. Matter of fact, she was actually working in the capacity of a temporary postmaster. So
Hmm.
I'm sure they will be better equipped to answer that
Answer.
question, or if some of
Hmm.
our viewers may have the answer to that. But did you ever get a passport?
No, not yet. I'm gonna work on it. I
Okay.
don't go nowhere. I know. I know that sounds horrible. I've been places, you guys. I just don't
Yes.
go anywhere now. And I definitely ain't getting my booty on nobody's plane. All these planes
You
falling
won't
down the
fly
sky.
Plum.
I'll wait until 4 years from now, maybe.
Really?
If
You'll
you
wait
get my
four
drift.
years.
Oh yeah, I'm not getting on no plane. If we can't drive there, we ain't going. So I don't really I do want
Who
to.
else feels this way that you don't feel comfortable getting on a plane? Is it because there have been massive amount of increased numbers in accidents and
Yeah, falling out the
unalive?
sky. Falling out the sky. Yeah, absolutely. It feel I just I've never, I mean, of course they always say it's safer to be in a plane than to be driving. But now it's just like, is it really? I mean, obviously the numbers are not no comparison to car accidents, but at the rate that they're going and they're just falling, you mean, I
Yeah, they
mean, like they're
falling.
in commute, they're not even like falling near airports. They're falling in center cities, aka Philly.
Yeah,
Like I no thanks.
yeah.
I don't plan on getting on no plane. I've been on planes. I'm not scared to fly as far as the plane itself, but because of what's going on and it's so frequent, I ain't getting on no plane. I ain't getting on no boat. Neither one of those.
Oh, no yacht? Now,
No yachts, no cruises. No, thank you. I will wait. People are getting
right.
sick on these cruises. They
Yeah,
are
that's true.
they are not coming
Yeah,
back. If you get my drift on these cruises, I am good. I will
that's
stay
true.
in the perimeter of where I feel is good. Um, no.
You're saying no, no way. Forget about it.
Absolutely not. No.
Yes. Wait a minute. Let me just make sure. I don't see yours on here, your channel.
I shared it, but when I went in the thing, it said it was expired. So it's
Oh,
probably
okay, that's
too
what
late
happened.
to
Okay,
add it. Yep.
okay, okay, okay.
Yep.
All right, very good. Okay.
Miss Linda
So
said this is correct. 1 year contract with incentives to 21 million for Russell.
for Russell, yep, he might even stay even longer.
Yes.
Yeah, might even
Hey
stay.
Jess, thank you for
Hey,
joining
Jazz,
us.
thanks so much for joining. Thank you so
Yes.
much for joining. So one of the things, I don't know whether you actually heard about this, that's another executive order. You listen, there's been so many executive orders that's been signed within the last 90 days. So we were at number 200, but I don't even know what number it is at this point. Maybe if
It
someone
has to be a
could
record.
Google, huh?
I said he has to be going for a record. He
He has to be
definitely
going
has
for
to be.
record.
Yeah.
He has to be. Absolutely. I think Jasmine is agreeing with
She
you.
said, yeah, she said I'm not fan of boats to begin with, but I'll get on a plane if it's my time. That's just it. Oh,
Ooh, child.
bless your heart. Um,
Shakira said,
bless your heart. I'm gonna pray.
well,
You let me know if you're going
we're
somewhere.
wanting long lives for all our viewers. When I say long
Absolutely.
life, I mean living to 100 plus.
Yes.
Living to 100 plus. Yes. Now, as we were talking about this executive order, and it's
Mm-hmm.
being so many at this point that's being signed, like, you can't hardly keep up. But one of the things I think that we should pay attention to is this executive order, which is restoring discipline and respect in the classroom. Now, what does that really mean? Because they talk about the word discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in our culture, when we
We
say the word discipline,
you about to
we know
get
what that
rocked.
means.
Oh, belts are involved. Okay. Maybe, for me growing up, it was only a belt, but I know people with wooden spoons,
Woo,
different shoes, the house shoes, slippers, the switch. I know you may have experienced the switch because that's before
well,
my time.
as a
Yeah.
child, I had a babysitter,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not going to say her name, but I had a babysitter when I was living in Asbury Park, New Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
and I was abused. And she beat me with an iron cord, with a switch. She really told me up. And listen, my mother never spanked me. The only thing she ever did was pinch you. She'll
Oh, well,
give you a twist, but far as, because I was a pretty good kid, up until I got a little older, but I felt as I was still a good kid. But I was
mm.
only 7 years old when this woman beat me like that.
Oh, wow.
And my mother and Aunt Queenie and a few other aunts almost went to jail.
Oh
because they
wow.
came after her, and it was a mess. My back, like that movie Roots, Kuta Contain, that movie. That's how
Hmm.
my back looked. And she told me, if you
Oh
tell your
wow.
mother or anyone, I am going to unalive them. And I was scared to death to tell
Oh wow.
anyone. And how my mother found out is that she kept telling me to go and take a bath,
Hmm.
run the water and take a bath. Now, at that age, I was very smart, run my own bath water, get in the bathtub. But when I was getting in the bathtub, the soap was burning. So I would
Hmm.
jump out because it was burning my skin so bad.
Hmm.
And my mother came in and took the towel off, looked at my body, and had a fit.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Had a fit. So that was abuse. So that's
Yeah.
different than discipline,
Discipline,
right?
yeah. But
So this,
everybody views the word discipline. Discipline is actually up into interpretation.
yeah,
It's what you view as, because somebody can get a spanking one time and say that it was abuse to them. But then
true.
you have somebody that got spanked 15,000 times and they're like, it was just discipline because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. So I feel like it's left up into interpretation. So this ruling is, I mean, this order is very scary, because
It is.
what exactly does that mean? Don't put your hand on my child. Okay.
Well, let's hear a little bit of the video, and then we want to get our viewers to chime in, our co-hosts to chime in. Stay
Okay.
tuned.
Executive order on school discipline policies. Under, I believe it was the Biden administration, first Obama and then Biden, the Department of Justice issued guidance that made it almost impossible for schools to enforce adequate disciplinary policies. This created issues in the classroom for teachers and students alike, and puts us back in a place where hopefully the Department of Education can.
And this was important for you, Linda, as I understand it.
Yeah, absolutely, because it gives teachers the authority now to have discipline in their classroom and discipline the person who is being disruptive. We took that away.
Okay, so there you have it.
I'm confused because they always talking about Biden and talking about Obama and them.
Obama.
They wasn't beating. They wasn't disciplining kids in that, because I need to know the what are your definitions of discipline, because they wasn't doing that for Clinton. They weren't doing that for Bush. So why is it that you keep mentioning these people?
They
I
took
don't.
they're indicating that they're giving the teachers the permission to discipline. So
But
so the interpretation of what does that really mean? They're not collaborating. They're not going into detail as to what does that really mean.
yeah, I don't like that. And
How are you
I am.
interpreting?
I like. Here's the thing. Being a teacher is very hard. They don't get paid enough. Just like we were talking about the NFL players, they get the draft and all of that. They get all this money. They need to give those to some teachers, okay? Because these teachers are getting messed up in these schools, okay?
They
They
are
do need a form of discipline, but the way that certain people view discipline, it has to be order. You get what I'm saying? It can't be, it was a video that I seen where they're beating up the teachers, they're beating up anybody that they run across.
right,
So yes, there should be something in place, but I believe that's what suspension is for. I believe that's what you getting expelled for,
right,
detention. So what exactly do you mean by discipline? There's discipline in the Board of Education. They have
right.
rules and
There's
regulations.
rules.
So what exactly are you talking about? I don't
That's
know.
what we're trying to figure out. What does
Yeah.
he mean? Is he talking about bringing back paddling? I mean, hey Dottie, thanks so much for joining us, sis. Thanks so
Hey,
much
I
for
died.
joining. Yeah, I mean,
Jasmine said you don't have the right to physically discipline anyone else's child, teacher, or whomever. Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. So I would love to know exactly what that order was. It's in detail, because you
yeah,
have to. They already have rules and regulations. There's in-school suspensions. There's detention. There's, like what
right.
else are you trying to enforce?
Right, exactly. We're trying to get the definition of what does that mean. Our co-host, what does it mean to you when you hear the word discipline and his executive order putting it back into the schools, not taking it out, but putting it back into the schools? What
Yeah,
does that really mean
I
to
would love that.
you
Yeah.
when you hear the word discipline?
Miss Rita said, when I went to school, the teacher beat you if you did something wrong.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
paddled.
Yeah.
And that was back in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
So, but then when it started being abusive and then the parents was coming in and it became a confrontation between the parents and the teachers, they
Yeah.
really had to, because
Stop.
back then in the 80s, the teachers was smoking crack. They were, they were
Jesus
doing both.
Lord.
No, some teachers were. I mean, not
Yeah.
all. Don't come for me. I'm just
Yeah.
speaking what was happening.
Yeah.
And this was causing more tension that they needed to make some changes in the school.
Yeah. Absolutely. Jasmine said, defending yourself is one thing, but yes, that is what suspension and detentions are for. Exactly.
Exactly.
I
So
don't know. What exactly are you trying to add in?
yeah,
Dot said these kids are not going for that.
they're not. They're not. Not even the little ones.
No. I
think the
can't
little
see
ones.
that.
I remember a teacher saying to me that she was teaching. I think it was like fourth or fifth grade, and she
Mm-hmm.
was also teaching high school. She said
Mm-hmm.
she's going back to the high school because the little ones are worse. I was like, what?
Oh,
I
wow.
couldn't even
I
wrap
would
my
think
head
the high
around.
school would have been worse, but I guess not.
Yeah, I couldn't wrap my head around that comment, but yes.
Ms. Linda said, I read it to mean they didn't have a discipline policy. I don't think.
Yeah, but they did, because if you were caught fighting, you was reprimanded, and you had,
Yeah.
3 days suspension, and
Yes.
sometimes it could be as bad where
Expelled.
you get expelled out of the school completely. So they
Exactly. And
had
that still
this.
goes on. And it's been going on. So that's the part that I'm conflicted with when they keep saying, well, Biden took away. They were that didn't go away. People were still getting suspended. People were still going to detention from
Truly,
all presidencies across I'm talking about between Biden and Obama and the Clinton and the Bush, because that's the era that I'm from, kind of. So
right,
you could go to detention, because I've been to detention before. Okay, and nobody say
right.
somebody's in the White House now and you ain't got to go to detention. I was going. So yeah, I don't know. That's really
That's kind of an open
very
eye.
vague.
Huh?
I said it's very vague.
Very vague. Yes, very
Yes.
vague. But we got to pay attention, because, if you have children in school and, the teacher discipline them in a manner that you don't like, then it's an executive order that exists that gives the teachers the right to do certain things. Now, will charges be brought upon these teachers? It's very questionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't
They
be
won't
any
be
good.
having to worry about charges, okay, if they hit my baby. Okay, won't have to.
Ooh, child. Lord, please.
So Jesus, take the wheel.
Yes, definitely.
Miss Linda said, but they weren't beating children.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. That's what makes it a little strange, just trying to get an understanding of what that means.
Yeah. Miss Linda said Trump wants to, this is alleged, Trump wants to beat the children.
I hope not, because he got grandkids of his own.
He don't care. They not, because this is the thing. This is how I view this. Whatever's going on and what he's putting in force don't apply to him or his family, evidently. So his kids ain't going to school. They private school or homeschool, probably.
Just
they're
like
not.
Jasmine said.
Like we need more homeschooling. Yes.
Great. And a lot more parents are homeschooling their children.
They are.
But then you talk about the social ramification of how that is with them socializing.
But there's groups. They have mom groups, like the young lady I talk about all the time, Mean Mom. She moved to a different state, and they have like groups where they meet and they have social like play dates and stuff like that.
Oh,
like
really?
Other parents,
with other kids.
Yeah. So they do their thing as far as being able to have that interaction. But it's just the homeschooling thing. That's probably going to uptick if people start getting paddled.
Ooh, child.
And all of that. So
yeah, that's crazy.
Dot says some of these teachers need discipline too. Yes, some of these teachers need discipline too. And I feel bad because you get in the line of work and you hope that the person that is becoming a teacher, becoming a doctor, becoming whomever that has to care for other people, that they have a passion for it. And some teachers, Just don't. But I'll tell you this, they ain't doing it for a paycheck because they don't get paid nothing.
Yeah.
So, they probably fed up, then got beat up,
Yeah.
and they they
Something.
they want to fight. They want to smoke too. They want to fight now. So I don't know.
Mhm.
Miss Linda said he won't beat little X.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think he's getting
Little
chastised.
X look like he'll fight.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting chastised at all.
He don't want that kind of smoke.
Aunt Dot said cutting kids' braids, etc. Yeah, absolutely. That lady, well, was it a lady or a man that cut that
That child's braids.
braid?
Oh, that was so
That was a while
crazy.
ago. That was a while ago. And
Oh,
honey, whew,
uh,
I can't even imagine.
but see, that's why it's very important for teachers and principals to meet the parents. Because see, when you meet these parents, you're gonna be like, no, don't do nothing to that kid, because that parent is no,
But
no, no.
that's on our part, the parents. You have
Parents
to be very
gotta
present.
be.
You have to be very, very present. And when I say very present, it's not just me that go up to the school. My husband goes up to the school. My mom goes up to the school.
I sure
Like,
do.
it's a community. So you'll see
Yes,
that this ain't what you
we
want over here. So
involved.
not that kid, okay? Not any kid, but
Mm-mm.
not that kid. So
And they got to see the presence, because
yes,
if you have a meeting with the parents don't show up, the mother or the father, or you know what I mean?
yeah.
If you can't show up, get an auntie to show up, get a grandma to show up,
Somebody,
get your
yes,
girlfriend to show up, get
somebody,
somebody to be present in your absence to
yes,
represent you. Just
yeah,
because you don't go, you may have to work. That's fine. We understand that parents got to
yeah,
make a living, but you may have that girlfriend that's off work, or that boyfriend that's off work, or that friend that's off work that can stand up for you and say,
yes,
I'm here, I'm present. Somebody is
yes,
here that's representing these kids.
yeah,
Because when
absolutely.
nobody's showing up, that's not a good look.
No, not at all.
And it's time and time again, these
Yeah,
parents don't show up for these kids.
yeah. They don't think it's important. It's
I was
very
showing up, I was
important.
taking off work. If I have to close the restaurant, whatever I had to do, I'm coming. My
Yeah,
mother, my dad, somebody gonna show up.
somebody's going to show up. Absolutely. Miss
Yes.
Linda said little X is putting burgers on Trump's desk. He is
Boogers.
bad to the bone. I can't listen. He's a kid. I don't even view him as. I feel that he may not have any what is that it's not standards, it's boundaries. Okay, they don't set boundaries for the little man, but I don't think he's bad. He's a kid.
He's a kid.
He's a kid.
He's
I
a
don't. I'm
little
not
cute
going to
little
call
kid
him
too.
bad.
I'm
He's a
sorry.
kid.
The little boy is cute.
He's a kid, and he's free. And he look. I mean, his father is who he is. So
Yeah.
he don't have no. Ain't nobody telling that little boy, no, you can't have no fruit snacks. You can eat 1,000 fruit snacks and all the sugar you want. That's
Yeah.
probably why he was on top of that man's head. He probably had a whole bunch of sugar.
Yeah,
So
he's hype. He's
yeah.
very hype.
Very,
He's
very
very
high.
hype.
Aunt Dot
Yeah.
said, "A lady, do not touch mine." Yeah, don't touch mine.
You already know, because the whole
Don't
family coming out.
don't
I
touch.
can't even imagine someone in our family saying something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
no,
we're so close
no.
knit, and I'm talking about all of our family. We're so close knit. We have family groups on my maternal side and my paternal side of the family. One side of the family have hundreds in it. One other side of the family have, and I'm not even exaggerating, we have thousands of cousins that are just unbelievable. And for us, I can't even imagine when you're a close knit family, and even I'm watching this, people don't even know you. If you post things on social media, they come out
Oh yeah, they
in
go viral.
droves.
People will stand up for you that don't even know
They
you.
will, and I
Sometimes
love that.
faster than your family, and that's I mean
Yes,
those are facts. So when you hear about different things that go on, and we report things, and you see all those people out there with their cameras, they don't know them people.
yep, they
Some
show
people
up.
drove to
Social,
locations because they
yeah,
seen it on a post or something like that. So
yes,
just if you don't have family, don't think that you're alone, because some people don't
never
have no
alone,
family. You're not alone, but
never.
get somebody to help you to be able to advocate for your kid, advocate for whomever. And yeah, don't touch my kid.
Yep,
That's just, yeah.
exactly.
Miss Linda says
Okay.
saying grown folks stuff. I guess she's talking about little X.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's repeating what he's hearing.
Yeah, he's repeating what I mean. I'm not gonna have I heard my kids say something they shouldn't be saying? Because
Right,
they might have heard me say it.
right.
I
Or
think
someone.
everybody under the sound of my voice has experienced that. So
So, yeah, one way or another.
yes.
Yes. Now we're going to change the course of how this is going, and we're going to talk about something that's affecting all of us because we all need it during the winter, right? And a lot of families depend on this, especially when they can't afford to pay their heating bill.
Mhm.
Now, from warmth to warming, Trump shuts down heating aid program. Have you heard about it?
I think I did. I think you had mentioned it to me. And this is going to be very, very sad because some people depend on it, like you said, depend on this part.
Yes. Yes, it's absolutely devastating. Let me just share this small little clip with you real quick.
Energy assistance program is getting unplugged. This week, the Trump administration abruptly laid off the entire staff who work closely with the low-income home energy assistance program, also known as LIHEAP. That office and the Department of Health and Human Services ran a $4 billion program to help struggling households across the country, including right here in our area. So last year, PECO helped 38,000 customers secure assistance from LIHEAP, while 41,000 of PGW's customers received that same assistance. And between both of those companies, that's $34 million for families who needed help keeping the lights on last year. So LIHEAP gives up to $1,000 in utility bill credits to those at or below the poverty line. And while the program's future is now uncertain, Dan Gross at PGW says they're still encouraging people to sign up for LIHEAP as the deadline was extended to April 18th.
And all we can do is hope that despite the staffing reductions, that the program itself is not compromised, but it's too early to tell whether that is the case. These costs, if LIHEAP were to go away, the costs and the funding that those customers receive toward their energy bills would unfortunately be passed along to other customers. So essentially, the LIHEAP program benefits all of our customers, not just the ones who directly qualify.
Yeah, so pretty much everybody here feels the pain. PECO and PGW are still encouraging people to sign up. Again, that deadline has been extended. They're also saying that you can contact them for other energy assisted programs if this were to go away.
You were telling me that even if we're not using LIHEAP, we all end up paying for this.
We all end up paying for it. So we're all going to feel the pain if this program goes away.
Okay, people still trying to wrap their head around the daily headlines of entire agencies.
Thank you, Channel 6 News, ABC, Action News. When you see something like that, you say to yourself, oh my goodness, what is this coming to?
Yeah, it's I mean, he's on a rampage.
Huh?
I said he's on a rampage. They're cutting the fat of what they feel is fat. So they probably never had to worry about a heat bill. So they're like, we don't need this. They don't need this. So
we got to be aware because right now it's getting warm right now, right? So, this company, they also pay for air conditioning, when you're running your air conditioning, because a lot of times your bill become astronomical even during the summer months, right? Yes. So they step in even during the summer months. But the winter months is really devastating because a lot of people become unalive during these months, especially when the degrees are below zero. Yes. Like in Buffalo, New York, where we used to live, during the month of August, it starts snowing. So imagine the month of September or October. It can get crazy. So I'm hoping that there's some sort of turnaround for all of these executive orders. Somebody was like, please take the pen, take the pen. Now, some of the things he have been signing into order have been good. And there's a lot of things been like, oh my goodness, what is the people going to do?
I don't know. Just pray. It's all in God's hands. It's in God's plan. It's already been worked out. It's already he's way far ahead. It's still other stuff that's going to be coming down the pipeline that may shock us, or maybe for the greater good. But we just have to stay prayed up, and that's all you can do because we can't do nothing about it. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Not at that level of what he's doing. We just have to be like you said, checking on the older folks because they may experience that it be shut off. Invite them over if that's what like come on over. You ain't got to stay and by yourself. If you ain't got no heat, if you ain't got no air, do whatever you can to help somebody.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all you can do. Miss Rita said anything that helps people, he wants to stop. He wants everyone to be homeless and need for help. But he getting rid of the help. So everybody that's going to be homeless, he's getting rid of the help.
Right now, we know 3 different categories. The rich, the poor, and the middle class.
Yeah.
So they're saying they want just 2 classes, rich and poor. So it's either a person who's.
But it's it's a different type of poor. It ain't the type of poor we know. Because the poor we know, they got Section 8. They pay a certain amount for it ain't poor. Because the people that they have now, if you have to need assistance, I totally understand. I want you to go get help. But I'm talking to the people that have been on Section 8 or getting government assistance for 15, 20 years. You don't plan on getting no job. You don't want to get no job. You done passed the game down to your kids. Yes. That's where you need to trim the fat. Okay. I would agree with that, because guess who's paying for that, you guys? Middle class. We are.
Yeah.
We are. So I agree with that part with certain things, but he's just cutting things all together. Like, I think things could be revamped to be better, but not, because there are people that take advantage of this and they have the money to pay their bill, but they can't cut me off. I'm gonna go get spinning rims. So I believe there's a way to make things better, but I don't think he should just be cutting stuff like that.
If a person needs, because you got people that need Section 8. We're not talking about
I'm not there. That's why I said
that's
you analyze it, revamp it to be better. That's all.
We're talking about people who are capable of getting out there, getting a job, working, going back to school, getting a trade, and really making a difference. Because you got people who was on Section 8 that are now doing 6 figures. And no longer needed. Will you miss the food stamps? Of course. Will you miss the Section 8? Of course. Who won't miss paying $44 a month?
Yeah, exactly.
You
used it the way that it's meant to be used. You used it to get on your feet, to level up, to do things, and you got off of it. That's what I think.
Now, if you're disabled, handicapped,
not talking about anything like that.
Then you need all the help you can get by far.
Absolutely. Ada said he's on a revenge tour. Everybody on the list too. Everybody's on the list.
No, the Democrats are on that list, child. If you did him dirty, and some Republicans, I must say.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's a person that is selective to say, I only dislike Democrats. I only dislike blah, blah, blah. Anybody that's coming against him, he don't like them.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Thanks for joining, Michael.
Thank you that's Jasmine. I think that's Jasmine coming on her husband's page. I spoke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Keep your boots on. Keep your boots on the ground. Keep your boots on the ground. Yes, please do.
Keep your boots on the ground. Speaking of keep your boots on the ground, how many of y'all out there got y'all fans? Where the fans at? Where the fans at? Ooh, I'm ready.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Yes, listen, everybody got the boots on the ground. That song went viral so fast.
It did. It really
went viral so fast. So we're going to shift gears right now. Speaking of boots on the ground, I want to talk about love right now. Do you mind talking about love right now, Shakira? I know you kind of I'm not going to go real rough.
Lord. Okay.
I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it PG.
Okay, please.
But I want to talk about situations when you're in love with someone. How far would you really go, right? When it talks about love. Pressed and betrayed. The wife who ironed for her husband's mistress. Yes. This is a young lady. Now, she's a first lady, and her husband is a pastor.
Okay.
And I'm going to show this clip. But when I'm done, I'm going to post in the chat this whole entire interview. After we're through, y'all, if y'all have some spare time, go to Your Future Wife and look at this segment. It's life-changing. And I'm going to say this because sometimes women and men will say if a man did a certain thing or if a woman did a certain thing, they're going to leave them. And I know I said this a time or two. If a man cheat on me, I'm out. Peace. But then when it really happened, you'd be stuck on stupid.
Everybody say that. You can't say what you're going to do until you're
Because you
in the
really
situation.
don't know.
Because you have no idea. You don't know.
But love makes you do some of the darnest things.
Mm-hmm.
And to think that you were going to iron your husband's clothes while he go out.
Wait, so she's ironing the husband's clothes to go out with her, or she was ironing mistress stuff too?
No, she is ironing her husband's clothes so he can go out and meet with his mistresses, not one, but several. So I just want to play this little snippet of her speaking and him speaking. Stay tuned.
This holy lifestyle back to smoking weed, drinking, chasing women. We would fight. Our house became the party house because my relationship with Jesus was attached to him. So if he went to church, I went to church. If he didn't go to church, I didn't go to church. And it is a form of idol worship, which I know that now. But he was my connection to Jesus. So at that time, I was chasing with knives, trying to jump on hoods of cars, fighting women. That was kind of a common thing. We were living in Section 8 housing on food stamps, having children, and it got so crazy that one day I said, I can't do this anymore because someone's going to get hurt. Someone's going to either go to jail or get killed. Seriously.
So basically, Jasmine Sullivan, I broke the windows out your car was the theme song of your marriage.
No problem.
You over here jumping on hoods.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's a true
finding
story.
him at clubs, confronting just the whole thing.
So help me understand that. So what happened to where you find yourself on the hood? He's in the car?
Or trying to leave.
Oh, so
and
he's in the car. He ain't with the woman.
No.
She would sometimes hide my keys and help me
look for him.
That's how bad it was.
You would hide the keys and help him look.
Yes, be hunting. Where could they be?
And then and then back then you didn't have GPS. We didn't have cell phones. And so my friends would be like, "Hey, Reggie, man, your wife found us. She in the club."
Yeah.
How would you find them?
I had mental GPS.
All my friends call her.
That's right. Well,
they call her to this day, Detective Kelly.
I could find anything. I would check mileage. I'd find hairs in the car. Whose hair is this?
Hair fibers. So you missed your college. You're supposed to work for forensics.
Well, sure. I actually ended up working for the police, actually. But
you did?
For 13 years.
So finally, I was about.
Yes,
this
sir.
is true.
Yeah.
So I finally was like,
13 years.
I'm going to leave him. At this point, I was working my way out of poverty. I got the job with the police department, and my aunt found me a job in Virginia to have me work there because I was going to leave. It was really bad. And I had my 2 babies with me trying to leave, and I put my hand on the door. And I'm not going to say God told me to stay or leave, but I felt like I couldn't leave. And I cried because I felt like I can't leave. And I went to bed that night, and I had a dream of him preaching.
Yeah.
And I woke up the next morning. Well, first of all, you were upset that I was still home.
Yeah, because I got home. I'm like, I thought you were moving to Virginia with the 2 kids. And she said, I had a dream that you became a preacher. I said, that's not going to happen.
Right.
I said, just because my dad does that means I got to be disciplined and committed. And I'm not trying to be either one.
Right. And he said, I'm going to keep on smoking this weed and chasing these women.
Yeah.
That's what he told me. And, but I just felt like that dream could happen. I believed it. And one night, shortly after that, I was by myself because the marriage was still horrible, crashing. And I felt like I was going to lose my mind. Because, you have all these moments, God's amazing because you'll have moments of clarity and then moments of complete confusion.
Yeah.
And I was rocking back and forth. Remember, like, I'm going to lose my mind because it left again. It's gone again. And I heard the enemy tell me, you should die. You're not you're not worthy of anything. You should, end your life and he'll never love you and all this stuff. And somehow, some way I was able to call on the name of Jesus. And when I called on his name, I literally felt his arms wrap around me. And that was my first encounter. I wasn't at church. I was by myself. There was no music playing. The lights weren't dim. None of that. It was me and Jesus. And I had a radical heart shift from that moment. I got in my word, under my word. I just completely changed as a person. And I realized that God loves me, that God has a purpose and plan for my life, that God chose me, that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. So he would call me out my name. It wouldn't bother me because I allowed God's voice to be louder than his. And when I was going through transition of him not coming home on the weekends, not being there, telling me, I hate you, I'll never love you, I wish I never married you.
Right.
I knew that life and death is in the power of the tongue through the word of God. So I would say, you will love me one day. We will have a good marriage one day. And although he would go out for weekends, I would literally help him get ready to go meet a side chick by ironing his clothes and getting him ready for the night. And these are all things I was graced to do. I would not encourage anybody to do that unless you are graced by God to do this. But once I knew who I was, I realized, oh, the enemy's after him. So I began to pray for him, not for my husband before, but as a soul. I didn't want him to be lost. Whether we made it or not, I didn't want him to be lost. I wanted him to be in his purpose because of that one dream
So there you have it. You heard it. You heard it. You heard it. You heard it. So there's more, but I just
I
wanted
can
you
see
to
they
hear
probably
that
was talking a
snippet.
lot.
Huh?
I said you could tell she was talking a lot. Ain't no way. And here's my take on that. Now, I am not no therapist. I've not been to school. I'm just talking about life experience.
Yes.
She did not love herself. I feel as though before
at
you
that
get
moment,
in that moment, I'm talking about chasing, and we've all been there. We all been a lunatic. I won't say a lunatic for people, but we've all went to. It may be mild extremes.
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you say so, I feel that everybody has their own way of doing something that they say that's not me.
Right.
I'm not like, why am I doing this? This is out of my character, right? And sometimes you have to have an aha moment. But I feel as though before you jump into a relationship, you have to know and love yourself.
Yes.
Ain't nobody, I'm not going to sit around and somebody going to keep telling. One thing that my mama told me, you don't let no man tell you that he don't want you more than once. You don't want me, I am out.
No.
See you later.
Deuce.
It was fun. So for me, that's off-putting for her to think that was, I mean, now I'm never going to tell somebody what God told them ain't true or what they think they heard and all that. But to me, for you to say that God basically was teleporting to you, iron his clothes so he can go out,
to me
is a lot, because
I couldn't do it.
Cheating is not a part of the equation when it comes to a marriage under God. That's adultery. Hello. So for me, that was a little wild for her to say that. Yeah. Instead of her just owning it and say, listen, I wanted this man so bad. Because this is what I heard. This is the version I heard. I wanted him so bad. I felt as though I couldn't get nobody better. So I stuck around until he loved me. You're going to love me.
Until he got tired of running the street.
Exactly.
And got older and realized you still here. Well, I guess I'll go on and love you.
You're going to love me. I don't love you. Well, you're going to love me. I'm not making nobody love me. I just feel that's very, I'm happy that she's in a happy place, but is she really in a happy place? That to me it speaks volumes. If somebody tell you I don't want you and you tell them you're going to want me, that's very that's psychotic. Okay. You're forcing somebody, like, no. And he was honest. At least he was honest. So I'll give him that. But to me, that shows his level of respect, that he's not even going to. I won't say that if a man tries to hide it, he respects you. But I'm saying that if you just open with it, like, listen, I'm going to Becky's house, so I'll be back about
after 2 hours. It gets to a point where it's a threesome or it's a poly.
Like, come on, like, did she eat already? I fixed some pot roast. You want to take some?
Tell her, come on over.
I can't. It's just entirely too much for me. I'm happy that I am not in these streets at all. I'll be married 5 years this year. I am so grateful for my husband, and I could not even imagine going through something like that. That is ridiculous on all levels.
Right.
On all levels.
Yeah, I thought that was very unique confession. But, to see them together now, and he actually is a pastor. So her dream that she had did come true. His father was a pastor before he passed away. But, your future wife, my future wife, shout out to him. I think he has a phenomenal show. I definitely will put the page to that show in the comments after the show ends, so you can go back and check that out. But Rita made a comment.
She said, if I iron his clothes to go out with a woman, I'm going out with a
man. Yeah,
like a man. Yeah.
See that.
Listen, Jasmine said you have to love yourself first, for sure. So to me, he settled for the one that was desperate enough to stick around.
Stick around.
That
Why?
part.
Yeah.
Right. If she really in a happy place, because I would have doubts in the back of my mind, like, yeah. Because is she
Yeah.
really happy? Like, if he knew what she would allow him to do and he did it. Yes. Major part. You show somebody and teach somebody how to treat you. You have
Yeah.
to know they know what they, just like your kids. You know how your kids play with you, and some things they don't play. It's the same. All people in the world, you have to teach them how to treat you. And if you allow it, then they're gonna keep doing it.
That's right.
Jasmine said, "Congrats to on 5 years. Your union is beautiful."
Yeah, 5 years, Shakira.
Yes, I know. Time
Wow,
is flying.
5 years.
Almost, yes, 5 years this year.
This year
5 years.
will be 5 years, December the
12th.
12th.
Jasmine's birthday. Same day as
December 12th.
Jasmine's birthday.
And the day before my dad passed.
Yes, I
Yep,
know.
I'll never forget that day.
Yes.
You know, it's so strange because your wedding was already planned.
I know.
And it was during COVID 2020.
I know. Yes.
And we were trying to decide after my dad passed, what do we do? You was concerned.
Yeah.
It was like, let's go through it, because if he was alive, he was like, you better go ahead on, baby girl.
And I talked about that on my live the other day. Like, God sometimes moves in certain ways that you have to listen and be obedient. Because if I would have moved it to a different day or a different month or my dad wouldn't have my dad wouldn't have seen me get married.
He wouldn't have seen me get married. Well, he passed that following year in February.
2 months later.
Right.
So if I would have waited and said, I'll get married in June, or you have to move. Just like when I planned the birthday party.
I know, for me.
So you have to really move. When God tells you to move, you have to move.
And I appreciate that. Planning that birthday party in 2016 for me on my birthday was the last day that I seen my mother alive.
Yeah.
And that to me was, of course, no one knew, right?
No, of course.
We never knew. But to look back, God was absolutely using you during that moment.
Yes. And I could not. And I was sitting at my desk at my previous, I ain't gonna say my employer name, my previous employer. And I'm sitting at the desk and I'm talking to my friend Esther, and I'm like, you know what? I want to plan my mama birthday party. She was like, well, how old she turning? I said 53. She's like, 53? That's not like a party. Like, you're supposed to be 60 or 50. I was like, no. I said, I really want to plan it. So then the next day come up, and then it was just on me. So I just started looking up stuff, and it would have me in a chokehold. It was like, you got to do what you got. And I was fine with it, but I was just wondering why I was so adamant about it. And lo and behold, God was in the midst. God is always in the midst. He's always in control. And you just have to, like, for the young lady, I hope she's happy in the spot that I hope that she feels fulfilled. But you have to let God lead you.
You do.
And if that's what she feels as though God led her to, then who are we to? I mean, hey, ain't my fight, okay? Because I couldn't. But hopefully she was led that way by God and she's fulfilled. But you have to move when God says move.
You do. When you hear that little voice, and see, God is always going to tell you to do things right. He's not going to tell you anything to do anything wrong.
Yes.
So if you hear that little voice, that intuition that God normally works through us, that feeling that we get, that angel.
Yes.
Sometimes that can, and then you look back later and say, I knew I should have. That's the worst feeling, to know you should have.
You should have and you didn't. Yep. And you wasn't obedient. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Ms. Linda said Jennifer Hudson's rendition of "You're Gonna Love Me." Yes, pretty much. You're gonna love me.
You're gonna
regardless.
Love me.
Like, I don't
great
care.
Example, Linda.
Very, very. That is a perfect example, and that is just beyond me.
Yeah. You're gonna love me. Wow. Being that we're on this subject, let's stay on this topic about love, right?
Okay.
Because right now we're experiencing so much, and I don't even know whether I want to say that it's an attack on our men, because we don't know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to ask this question to our co-host, and I want to get your point of view too, Shakira.
Okay.
For me, love without borders. Why do some people get mad about interracial dating or interracial marriage? Why is that a thing when some people just get bent out of shape? I mean, they're just like, some people
they lose their little mind.
Or they roll their eyes at the mall.
They lose their little mind.
They lose their mind.
My take on it is I don't care what you do. That ain't my life. Love who you love, whatever. That's your business. But I think the part of it that I won't say I can understand, right? When you think about Black men and you think about the statistics, if I'm saying that correctly, the numbers, okay? A lot of them are in jail. A lot of them are on the other side of the tracks and they don't want no woman, okay? Or they're with other racial women. So the pickings for Black men that are educated, because some women may want to how do I put it? They want to be with a certain level of a person.
Sure.
So like a statue, like if you're a CEO, you may want you want your Black man, right? But you want him to have these credentials, and the pickings for that may be about this big.
Yeah.
That's not, so I get the fight that they're taking, but you can't take something that don't belong to you. Okay, they're not taking the men people. Okay, they want to go over to that side of the tracks. Now I think the disconnect may be is when different things come up racially in the world and they can't connect and they can't, or they're.
Oh, we lost Plum. I think she might have got, her phone might have got dead or something. I don't know what happened, but maybe she will come back. But anyway, what are our co-hosts are talking about? Interracial marriages or interracial dating. And I know for some reason,
sorry, I had a poor connection. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
So basically, to make a long story short, it's slim pickings. So Black women feel like we only got about 20 people that we could pick from, and y'all done took about 15. We got 5 left, and we all fighting. It's more Black women, and like you think about the ratio of how many Black men to what to Black women, and that they're scared. They want to have stay within their race, but it's harder because it's slim pickings.
But what happened to love? What happened to just love is love? What happened to that theory?
Yeah, I'm not saying that part, but some people just choose to stay within their race. And I don't think anything's wrong with that. I mean, Chinese people do it. I mean, Asian people do it.
Sure.
I mean, certain cultures stay in with them. That's fine. That's another thing that gets on my nerve because they make it such a big deal when Black women only want to date Black men and vice versa, when other cultures do the same exact thing. Why is it such a big thing? Because I'm just like, I don't want, what I'm saying? So I just think people just need to mind their business and find love and pray on it and let God send you who he's supposed to send you. But I don't have a problem with it. I don't really care. I just think that sometimes when you're dating someone of a different race, they may not understand when you're going through certain things, being a Black person.
Yeah.
Like getting pulled over and you feeling like, oh Lord, is this going to be, I hope let me not. And you over there, well, what you pull me over for? It's just like, shut up before you get us all popped to the,
right.
Like, so I just think sometimes with cultural things could be different, but I don't think nothing wrong with that's on them. I
know you've been hearing lately about Shannon Sharp and, so many other people that are getting wrapped up into these lawsuits. There's a lawsuit recently brought up on him where they're charging him for that word, that R word, right? That we can't say. But is it wrong for someone in their 30s or older to date an 18 or 19-year-old?
I would say
morally wrong. Because it's not
no, obviously wrong. It's not. It's very legal. What I'm saying, okay, so when I was 18, 19, I didn't think anything was wrong with dating somebody necessarily a little bit older, right?
What? You wouldn't dare. Shakira.
No, I'm saying that for me. I ain't go that route, but I'm saying that it wasn't nasty. It was just something I didn't want to do.
Because
I've seen several people that was in my age group that was out here in these streets with older men. I didn't find nothing wrong with it on their end because that's their business, but that wasn't something that what I wanted to do. But what I'm saying, as being a 30-something years old, I'll be 38 this year.
38.
I don't see what you have in common with somebody that's 18.
Well, it depends on the maturity of that 18-year-old. And I understand that. Yes, true.
It does.
It don't morally look right.
Yeah, I understand that. But I can go to the club and you can't. I can buy liquor and you can't. It's certain things that I can do and you can't. So to me, I feel like sometimes it could be like I don't know. I don't know, Shannon. I don't know what to tell you, brother.
Yeah, it's a really
he be out
rough.
there with the snow bunnies. Is what's his
Okay, so
name?
let's talk about that snow bunny. Do you think snow bunny, the word snow bunny, isn't that a racial slur? Or I mean, because it's like snow bunny. Why you call it?
I mean, first of all, bunnies are very cute. Let's start there.
They're
Snow
very
bunnies
cute,
are very, very
but they
cute.
refer
Okay.
snow bunnies to white women.
That's what they listen. Umar started, Dr. Umar. Okay, this is all, but this was before him. People was calling people snow bunnies, but way before Dr. Umar was even on the air. Okay, I don't think it's. I mean, if I'm being offensive, you guys let me know if it's a snow bunny on here. I do not mean any harm. I think bunnies are very, very pretty. They're very cute. I just think. I mean, that's just what they call them. I don't care what you date. Okay, that's your business. Shannon, I hope and pray that the accusations are just that, accusations. Before her being the age that she was, and you being
19.
at the statue that you were,
and
like, and that's another
56
thing that you look at. She's 19, 18, or whatever. What was she doing, and what was he doing? Was he in the NFL?
I think it was only the way he's describing it, or what we're hearing, that it was only sexually motivated. It was.
Oh, well, then it was one night. It was a one nighter. Okay,
no, it wasn't. They dated for a few years, from what is being told, and they're labeling her as an ex-girlfriend. But the lesson, I'm trying to get a lesson behind. I'm trying to get a lesson, a teachable moment behind it, where so many of our brothers are crossing over, but then they're crossing over to the Caucasian women. But then they're finding themselves getting locked up or getting in these lawsuits.
I don't think it's no different from them being with black women that locked them up because, I hit you, I punched him in the face, but he only restrained me, but he going to jail. So I think it's the same difference. It's just it doesn't get as much heat wave as it is when it's an interracial thing. Because black women be doing it. They be calling the cops and getting their man arrested, knowing he got warrants.
They do.
And they be calling them and being spiteful. So I don't think it's no different than that. You get what I'm saying? So them crossing over, they're crossing over, but it's still, I don't know.
They do. They honestly do.
We got a couple comments. Jasmine said, I do feel like 10 years is a big gap for an 18-year-old. They haven't lived enough to gain experience to date someone that much younger than them, mature or not. I agree with that. I feel like you haven't really lived life. You don't really, but hey, I thought it was just a one night thing. I didn't know they was in a relationship.
Well, I think it was more than one time from what I'm hearing. We got to just teach out.
Let me see. Miss Linda said they call black women black. Well, yeah, we know that. There's no nice word for. We ain't gonna say. You know what she trying to say?
Oh, really?
She's saying that I call the Caucasian women the bunnies, and this is what the name that they refer us with.
What?
Yeah. Now, Mike, they be saying that all the time. Yeah, I can't. Yeah,
but let me just say this, and I'm not saying this as a way of defending that. But when we were in high school, we would be calling each other out our names, those words like that. That was a thing back in the 80s and 70s.
Well, we do that with everything, though. We do that with. Now, I mean, it's not necessarily correct.
Don't call me that now. But when we were younger, it was a sense of an endearment type of conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone, I do have my TikTok up. Jerry said it was 2 years they were together.
2 years?
Or talking. Yes. Thank you, Jerry.
They were together and talking 2 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. And he also said this generation had changed since then. Yeah. It's definitely different. So but I feel like we're the only ones, and this, correct me if I'm wrong, people, we are the only nationality that uses derogatory words to each other. The B word, the N word, the H word, all of that. We're the only ones. I don't hear no other culture addressing their same culture in that manner with a derogatory word or anything. Like, I just don't see that. So
it's kind of rough.
I don't know.
Different.
Yeah. Miss Linda said, look at the black male actor who was convicted for fighting a white woman, the one who married Megan.
Yes. Yes, he did. He went to court and he barely got off.
Oh, yeah, Megan
Yeah.
Good. Megan Good. Yes.
And now
Yeah.
he's acting back.
Yeah.
He's back to work now and stuff. But yeah, that was a
Yeah.
close call.
Yes. It was a close call.
That was a close. I mean, I'm you know,
very
and
close call.
Megan, Megan Good. What can we say? Just wishing them all the best for sure.
Yes,
you know, because that was definitely a close call. Everybody was praying and hoping that things worked out for him, and they actually did. And she stuck by him through thick and thin.
Yeah, she did.
She stuck by him through
She
thick
definitely
and thin.
did.
Okay, so that is our show for today. I do want to go into a little bit of this. It's only going to take me less than a few seconds to get through this. If you're interested in becoming a field inspector, like I said before, you can get paid up to $150 per house or by the hour. These companies that I'm getting ready to share with you, and I'm going to put them in a chat. Some of them will pay, as I said, up to $150, and you could do 4 or 5 houses a day. That means you go out, you take pictures of the external. You don't go internal into the home, but you take pictures of the external of the outside of the home. And I don't know if you ever seen someone be riding by a house and snap pictures and like keep going. That's normally a field inspector. Okay, that's normally a field inspector. So one of the companies I want to say is it's called WeGoLook.com. WeGoLook.com. And Shakira, the ones I'm putting up, could you put them in the chat?
Yes, absolutely.
Could you put them in the chat so that way that they can go there and they can check some of these names out that I'm giving. The other one is called, let me see, just one moment. Oh, let me just go to it. Gigwalk.com, GIGWALK, excuse me, GIG walk, WALK.com. Gigwalk.com is another one that they pay up to $150, and some of them will pay by the hour as well. The other one is called Photo Flex. That's FOTOFETCH.com.
Say that again. Photo,
no,
PHOTO. Oh, FOTO.
FETH. So photofetch.com. Photofetch.com.
Fetch, like fetch,
FETC. So photo is with with an F though. So it's FOTO FETCH.com. The other is Proxy Pics. That's Proxy Pics. That's PROXPICS.com. Again, that's PROXYPICS.com. Okay, so those are companies that would they are hiring for positions, and I'm just going to show you just this one. Shakira, she's posted a lot of them in the chat so that it'll be easy for you just to go there and check them out. Now with photo, this is let me just go here real quick so I can kind of give you this before we sign off. Okay, so this is what the website looks like, so you'll know that you're at the website. Commercial photograph by local photographers. Okay, so this here, you just go here and you will register, where it's at the very top right-hand corner. And a lot of these, you don't need any experience. Okay, and some of these properties are through mortgage companies. Some of them do mortgage companies where someone may be in a foreclosure and the mortgage company may need you to do a spot check, which is considered to be a field inspector. And you would sign up for your area or the locations of where you would like to take pictures. Okay. And then once you sign up, then you'll be contacted to have a kind of like a review, interview. And I'm wishing everyone luck, because this right here is an easy way to make some good money. Okay? An easy way to make some good money. So hopefully that will be helpful to someone out there that's seeking some extra money. Of course, you need a vehicle. You have to have some sort of transportation to get around. All right, Shakira, in our closing, do you have any comments that you would like to make to anyone?
No, just thank you for watching. I hope everybody have a prosperous week. Let God lead you to who needs you.
Let God lead you to who needs you. Come on. I like that, girl.
Yes.
I got to put that on a t-shirt. Let God lead you to somebody who needs you. That sounds really good. Okay. We want to thank all of our co-hosts and those who came and chimed in. Thank you so much for joining us today. We want everyone to have a good week. May this week do something different today that you didn't do yesterday to change your tomorrow. We're signing off. Mama said it. Woo. There'll be days like this. Mama said it. Woo. There'll be days like this. Mama said it. Woo. All right, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all have a wonderful evening. And I'm just going to say good night, everybody.
No.
All right, y'all.